See, who do we have on here? What's up, Brian? What's up, Cole, iPhone, Pricey, Sylvester, and Z. How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing tonight? Can everyone hear me on here? Can everyone hear me on this call at the moment? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good, good. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome, awesome. All right, cool. Today, this is, you guys saw the flyer. This is the third week in a row that we have done Sunday call, overviewing the week. The last 2 weeks, we called out the trade of the week. We called out what was going to happen, and it happened. And that's not necessarily the intention of the call, but that's something that comes with it. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Jordan. I got started trading in 2018 when I was in college. I was playing basketball, and I was looking for a way to make money online. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I just knew that there was a way to make money. There's people that knew what they were doing, and I was going to copy them. And there's a few important phrases I want to share with you guys. If you're to take anything away from this call, I'm going to put it right here in the beginning, and I'm going to put it right at the end. First thing is that trading is a marathon and not a sprint. That's number one. And number two, trading, what's important is your why. That's what's important. Like on some real shit. Trading can get really fun. Trading can get very frustrating. Trading can get boring to some people. Some people are like, it's just a screen. Some people are like diehards. They like love looking at the charts, and it's like really fun to them. And some people are like, I'm just seeing numbers, whatever. What's important is that you know what you're doing this for. Because when you're looking at trading Forex, there is no limit on what you can create. And it's on you to have proper organization on the systems you're creating so that the income can flow. Okay. So over the last few years, I haven't been able to make millions of dollars, but I have made 100,000 plus, almost 200,000 in the last 4 or 5 years combined. Out of all those years, not every single year I made a lot, but if you put all the years together, that's about how much I've made personally. And I've worked with people. I probably worked with over 1,000 people trading Forex in the last 4 to 5 years, probably about 1,500 people. And I've seen what works. I've seen what doesn't work. I've experienced the ups and the downs. I've experienced amazing highs. I've had weeks of tens of thousands of dollars. I've had a day. I've had 5 minutes where I lost 5,000. I've seen it. I've seen what it's like, and I know people that have lost 100,000 a day, and I know people that have made more than that in a day as well. There's a lot of ups and downs that come along with this as you stay around for the process. Now, what I'll tell you is that Forex is not like a lottery machine. You're not going to come on here and then in one day, in 1 week, be able to make thousands of dollars or something like that. Having that amount of income coming in on a weekly or a monthly basis is absolutely realistic. It's absolutely achievable. And I've seen it done hundreds of times over the last few years of working with over thousands of people. And in the last probably 2 years or so, probably it was around 2020 when the pandemic hit. That's when I was at the peak of my success in trading, and I was also at the peak of confusion as far as from a spiritual side of things. I had made all this money, but I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what was the purpose of it. It seemed like things happened so fast because just 4 or 5 years ago, I was in the middle of the cornfields in Illinois, and I was at my parents' house, and I was a college dropout, and I was working as a pizza delivery driver. So from that to 2 years later, I had made over 6 figures trading. I traveled the world, 40 states, 8 countries, and done events with people, help people one-on-one, and seeing people profit in the markets. Probably helped over 100 people clear 10,000 plus in just a short period of time. Next thing I know, I'm like, what is happening? Like, how did that just happen? Like, things just happened so fast. I was like, what is going on? And and then when the pandemic hit, it really sparked something in me, guys. It really sparked something in me. Is like something bigger is happening right now. Like it's awesome for us to hop on here and we're thinking about Forex. We're thinking about investing. We're thinking about making money. That's awesome. And that's a part of life, undoubtedly. And what I've discovered over these last couple of years that there are deeper parts of life that you can get access to and that can really unlock different levels within yourself. And that's taken me down a spiritual path. Through identifying with the things that I created on the outside, and then you having that experience, having everything, and experiencing having basically nothing, experiencing the difference of the two, and understanding now having this level of detachment of what's actually happening in the markets. And so when you work with me, you're going to see that I have a greater level of awareness of the emotional side of things than most people will have. And if we're really looking at trading, guys, it's really math. You know, we all know what the math is. You got to have a goal. You got to know what it is you want. You got to know why you want it. You got to be able to reverse engineer it, and you got to be able to track it at the end of the day. Just like any other business, you have to know the math, right? You have to know what the math is. You got to reverse engineer it, and then you got to do the work through the process of it. Okay. So there is no miracle trade that is going to make, well, I won't say that because that's always possible that you can have a one trade that's a home run. You know, you can do that and that happens, but it's really more about staying in the game in the process. You know, I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes in the market. I've made emotional errors. And when you go through the psychology lessons of trading, you're going to realize that we all make the same errors. We all make the same mistakes. And there's a few things before we get into the actual setups, because we are going to get into the setups for the week. There are a few things I want to look at. Is that if you guys are trading this week, whether demo or live, you want to make sure you have 1, the trading plan, 2, a trading journal, and 3, most importantly, which most people will leave this out. I'm not sure why most people don't consider this, but really I want you to not just look at next week, not just look at next month, but look at the next year, look at the next 5 years and just zoom out a little bit and put things into perspective and understand whether right now, and you guys can, if you can, comment, put it in the chat how long you've actually been trading. How much time have you put into the markets? Are you in year 1? Are you just starting month 1? Are you year 2 or 3? And understand that most people that get to whatever your goals are, I haven't hit the $1 million mark yet in trading. And I said that, and that's one of my goals, and I believe I'll get there. And I believe that anyone that wants to get there will also get there, whether you're on this webinar or not, whether you're following me or following someone else, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you have the vision for your own life and you're willing to do whatever it takes, regardless of the setbacks, regardless of the things that are going against you, the people that don't believe, the people that try to stop you, the people that don't understand you. At the end of the day, God gave you your vision for you, right? Not everyone else is going to understand it. So whatever you're going through right now, whatever that may be, find the way, put some type of effort into focusing on the future. Put yourself in use your imagination. Really use your imagination and make Forex help you in that process, as it's helped me in my process, and as I see it helping more and more people, because it's something that any person. I've seen people 15 years old be successful at trading. I've seen people that are 65 years old be successful at trading. I've seen people Black, white, Asian, African, Spanish, Italian, like it doesn't matter where you come from. And that's one thing about Forex, it doesn't discriminate. There's equal opportunity for everyone. So it's actually mouse. my mouse is getting stuck. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Y'all can't see it. Y'all can't see what's going on, but my mouse is tweaking hard over here. Okay. I don't know what that was. Yeah, guys, like have fun with this shit. Have fun with this shit. Don't make this be your entire life's, like, there are more things to life than trading Forex. Don't make your entire, and I've done this before, so don't give your results so much weight on how you see yourself. At the end of the day, realize that you are not the outer world. All right. It's not about what's going on around you. I know with trading, you're going to get a lot of, whether it's social media or whether you're in a group of people, it's real easy to get caught up into what other people are doing, what other people's results are. You want to hurry up and get there. You want to get to someone else's level. You want to race them there. And that can be the very thing that makes the actual mistakes. So for this week, have a trading plan, have a trading journal, have some type of vision on what you'd like to achieve. Sundays are always a good time to do that. Sundays are always a good time to zoom out a little bit, because we all go through things in life. We all go through challenges. Things happen during the week. And if we have some type of structure in our life, whether it's a Sunday or whatever, at the end of the week, this is what one of my mentors who's made millions of dollars can share with me, is that, hey, every Sunday, take some time to study, take some time to clarify goals for the year, and take some time to clarify what you're going to do this week. Have some type of accountability to do. And one of the best ways to be disciplined is to be organized. And when we're organized, we can follow through on that. So clarity and organization is right now. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the setups of the week. As on the flyer, we had looking at gold. Let's see. Gold is the primary pair that I trade. It's the primary pair that I've been trading for the last 4 years or so. And for me personally, some of the major mistakes that I've made in trading is, number one, having too much going on, having too many pairs trading at the same time. A lot of times it's traveling, it can get random. So if you're in one spot, take advantage of that. It's much easier to stay organized when you're in one spot. That, and then just not having the actual structure on the plan. So I'm going to share with you kind of, oh my God, the mouse is doing the thing. What's going on here? Here we go. All right, and let me know what you guys feedback on this. If what I'm sharing with you is making sense, if you're receiving any value from this, I'd like to know. Let's see here. So on gold right now, we've marked up. If you were on last week's call or the week before, or if you've seen what's going on in the Telegram channel, we have marked up a certain area, and we're still looking at this area right now. We have this weekly institutional candle, and it's actually given us about 500 pips already off of this area, and it came up to the daily. It grabbed the wick of that. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Yes. So for those of you, how many of you, and if you guys drop in the chat, drop a 1 if you are familiar with smart money concepts, and if you've studied smart money concepts, and then 2 if you haven't, or if you're not sure, if you guys could drop that 1 or 2 in there, so that way we know where everyone is at. Because I want to make sure this is simple. I don't want to make this complicated. And I'll be the first to tell you that there are people that know a lot more than me on the technical side of things, on the fundamental side of things, and like how all that stuff works. And to me personally, I'm a student always, but I like to keep things simple. And if I have something that's working, then I don't see the point of getting too specific on what everything means. What's more important is that you can use it to get the result. And one thing, whether you guys, I know some of you guys study like ICT on YouTube, and ICT has a lot of information. He has like all the information you have, and some of you have used Bounce Back Sniper with Zach and Jordan, or Trade House Educators. Some of you have used both. Some of you perhaps have learned from other sources, and some of you perhaps have no idea what I'm talking about, and this may be your first time. I don't know. At the end of the day, there is a lot of knowledge in trading. There's a lot of knowledge in general in life. What's important is that we're learning what we're applying, and that we're not overloading ourselves with unnecessary information. And for me, that's confused me in the past, is that that's why I like to keep things simple. At the end of the day, it doesn't have to be complicated. And if you guys don't know, Zach and Jordan are educators. They're educators, they're master educators in a trading platform. Some of you guys had access to the platform, some of you do not. And they've both made multiple 7, I believe, 8 figures in the market. So a lot more than I have. And then you have ICT, Michael J. Huddleston. He's actually been a part of the backgrounds of, and I don't even like sharing this stuff, to be honest, because I don't know, some of you guys may not even believe it at the end of the day. But don't be surprised, guys. Honestly, guys, in 2022, don't be surprised when you hear things that are like mind blowing. I mean, we've heard too many things happening on this planet in these last few years. At this point, nothing should be a surprise at the end of the day. And Michael J. Huddleston, he's a part of the banks that are actually running the markets. He's seen the behind the scenes of anyway, I'm not gonna get too deep into the details because it's not necessary, but the point is he knows what's going on. This is we're not sharing with you a strategy. This is just how the market works at the end of the day. Anyway, so we see market structure. So I like to trade, what I do here, number 1 is top down analysis, and then number 2, with the flow of the institution. So I call it institutional order flow. So if you jump down into a river, and you're either going with the stream of the river or you're going against it, and you want to go with it for obvious reasons. So what happened? Let's see here. What happened up here, guys? You see this candle up here? Gold rejected. We took sells at the very top. I know a few of you here took the trade with me, and it gave us, like, from here, we entered somewhere in this box up here. We entered somewhere in this area. It gave us this initial move downward. Right now, we have a few structures. I do want to point out, though, for this week, for this week, there's a few zones we're looking at, and I already have them marked up over here. These are the zones you're looking at for gold at this moment in time. And we're keeping in mind that more than likely, not much is going to happen until the news, because there's actually 4 major red folder news this week on gold or on USD, on the US dollar. Where is it? So what news is basically, and I don't know if you guys are familiar, or how many of you guys were trading when Donald Trump was the president, but when Donald Trump was the president, it was famous. He was famous for making a tweet that would, you look at the market would make some random move, 300 pips in 5 minutes, and then next thing you know, you're like, what just happened? Like, there was no news, and then it turns out, oh, Trump tweeted something about China, or he tweeted something about Russia, and then the whole market moved very quickly, and it was like, what just happened here? And it just makes you wonder if he's doing some type of insider trading, and he knows like he's going to move the market when he tweets something, so he tweets that, and that sounds like something that he would do, and I wouldn't be surprised. But you would see that happen a lot, and apparently he's running for 2024. I don't know what that even means anymore at this point. If you're catching up with the politics of things, there's a lot of conspiracies around the politics on what's actually real and what's not real. That's up to your own interpretation. A lot of it is an illusion. A lot of it is controlled. A lot of it is scripted, and a lot of it is just, quite frankly, it's just mind control, and it doesn't really mean much. However, for people that trade, it does mean quite a bit. Like, if you're the average person, and I don't know how many of you guys are in America, the average person in America, there's not many things in the United States, and maybe in other countries, but from what I've experienced, there's not many things in your life that are really going to change by the president, who's the president, other than the conversation at family Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like maybe there might be a slight difference in taxes. There might be a slight difference in things they allow in schools, but like not really much changes. At the end of the day, like you are, and one of the guys I listened to, he said, he's like, you are the president of your own life at the end of the day. So don't let whoever's the president determine your peace of mind. But for us that trade, it is kind of relevant who is the president to a certain degree, because that can move the market. And if we know that there's a news event coming, then we can know that price is going to move us into one of our zones. So whenever there's a news event, which we have plenty, expect price to move quickly, and be looking, where is it going? Where is price moving to? So let's say for example it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and where is it at? Let's say it's Wednesday. Where is it? And this is what we do. And we may trade live. If you guys want to, just let me know. We may trade live. We traded live one time a couple weeks ago, and we caught a move on there. Let's say like price is right here. For example, price is doing this, and then maybe it's like, let's say it's like Wednesday afternoon, price is in this consolidation box. We're already knowing, okay, it's either going to shoot up or it's going to shoot down. Okay. And overall, on the higher time frame, we're favoring that it's going to continue down, just because it's playing off the daily order flow from the left. It did already give us 500 pips initially, and see, if you look at it, there are the equal lows over here to the left. There's a chance it continues up. There's always a chance of anything. I don't want to make it look like I'm just gonna tell you everything that's gonna happen, or like as if I know, because at the end of the day, the market doesn't care what we think. It doesn't care what we feel. It just does what it does. However, we just have certain methodologies, and I was just watching Mark Douglas. I may share you guys a video. It's actually pretty good. What he was talking about was that you don't have to know what's going to happen next to be consistently profitable trading Forex. You don't. You just have to have an edge over the market. that wins more than it loses. And when you use concepts like the risk reward ratio, like right here, we have a 1-to-8 risk reward ratio. You put the edge of the market in your favor. You can lose more than you win and be profitable. So what's more important than knowing every single thing about why the market moves the way it does, which is just random, it's just not even necessary. And there are traders, I know traders specifically in the I Master Academy platform who don't even trade smart money that have made millions of dollars. And it makes me wonder, like, how are they and I've seen people trade 1-to-1 ratio, and it don't make any sense to me. Like, how are you making money doing that? And I've seen people on YouTube that, like, I look at their strategy and it's like, bro, that is trash. Like, that's not even smart money, and somehow they're still like consistently profitable. So the point is, like, this, you don't have to know every little thing about the market. You don't have to know what's going to happen next. You don't have to know why everything's happening. Just know enough to make it simple in your mind so that you can execute a plan at the end of the day. Because you're not going to do exactly what I do. You're not going to do exactly what Zach and Jordan does. You're not going to do what ICT does. You're going to find your way of looking at things, right? Like, if you're a basketball player, you might study LeBron James. You might study Kobe Bryant. But at the end of the day, you still have your body and your mind, and you're only going to be able to do a percentage of what they do to a certain degree, and you're going to find what works for you in the context of the game you're playing, the team you're on, the season you're in. You're going to find the context to apply the information. So that's really the whole point. It's not to know what's going to happen next. It's not to catch the whole move. It's just to have the math set up and your plan set up to where you're winning at the end of the day. Your profit loss is positive. And the only way to have your profit loss positive is you have to know the score. You have to know the score. You have to know the math. It's got to be in plain sight. You got to know when you win. You got to know when you lose. And you got to know, just because you win, that doesn't mean you're right. And just because you lost, it doesn't mean you're wrong. It's just one of the times you're going to win. Just one of the times you're going to lose. And it's really a paradigm shift, because in trading, we typically think, wow, I don't want to be wrong. So I don't want to mess up. I don't want to lose. And then we win. We're like, okay, I must be doing it right. And then we lose, and like, oh, I must be doing something wrong. So just like trading, just like life, zoom out a little bit. I mean, take off the pressure of the trade by trade basis performance, and just zoom out a bit and realize what you do this week, it's not that important in the grand scheme of things. It's important as far as the habits you create and the way you're looking at things and what you learn from it. But at the end of the day, it's just another week. It really is just another week. And it's trading is more about the process than because think about it. Do you have a goal? Or like, this is your goal 10,000, and then you hit 10,000, then you're just like, all right, I'm done trading. Peace. Like, no, like, you're gonna keep trading. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna hit 100, and then I'm gonna quit because there's no point. I made all the money I ever wanted to make. It's like, it's more about what can you get weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. And this is something that I've been developing myself after returning to the trading scene, is looking longer term. And this is something I would suggest all of you apply as well. Whether you're in year 1, year 2, year 3, whatever the case may be, is looking at things. And this is how the CEOs that I've talked to, the millionaires I've talked to, it's not just about the week and the month. It's always, what's the score for the year? What's the score for the 6 months? What's the score for the quarter? The month is almost irrelevant to them. And then to the average person, we're so caught up on today and this week. And that's the difference of super successful people and people that are not, is the super successful people have a bigger dream and they've been at it longer. That's it. They just have looked further ahead than most people will. And trading is, and this is something I'll say, right? And some people think this is funny, right? So trading is not going anywhere. Trading's not going anywhere anytime soon. And if it does, we have bigger concerns to deal with than trading, right? In all reality, and if you follow anything that I post on Instagram, if trading does go somewhere, that's actually a really positive thing, not a negative thing, because that means we have solutions that are better than money. So I don't imagine that happens anytime soon. I don't imagine that happens this decade. I don't imagine it happens next. Many things can happen. Cryptocurrency, NFT, metaverse. Things are advancing. It's important to be ahead as far as doing some research. But Forex is something that people are starting to learn about. It's still new to most people, don't even know about it. And I talk to the average person on the street and I say, hey, if you do know what Forex is, no, I don't know what it is. And it's rare you do find someone who has heard of it. And then you're going to say, have you heard of crypto? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I've heard of crypto. I've heard of crypto, but I haven't heard of Forex. I've heard of stock. Why is it that they don't tell you about Forex? Why do you not know about Forex? It's because the people running this planet, if you want to call them that, and then the banks in of itself, when you put your money into the bank, they are trading your money in the foreign exchange market and they're profiting off of it, and they're giving you very tiny amounts of it. And they don't want you to know about Forex. They don't want you to know what they're doing. And they definitely don't want you to know that it's rigged. They don't want you to know there's an algorithm that runs it, that the patterns repeat itself. It's set up to make the average person fail. They don't want you to know that, because the whole point of the financial system is to have everyone virtually be a slave to the system. That's the whole point. The whole point is to have everyone in debt, to have everyone working for the rest of their life, and to be a slave to money. That's the point. And I'm going to be straight up. That's the point of the system. So Forex is the way to break out of the system. It's the way to beat them at their own game. And when I found out about that stuff, it really pissed me off. It really did. I was very angry. I was angry that there's people that suffer that don't know anything about this simply because it wasn't taught to us. And you got to think, if it's not taught to us, then why is that? And the answer is obvious. It's because they don't want us to be financially empowered. Because if we're financially empowered, they can't control us. So the webinar is about to end. We can restart at same link. I have a little bit more to go over. Probably go another 20 minutes if you'd like to stay on. If you have any questions, let me know. But we're just kind of getting into things, the psychology and what's really going on. When it comes to Forex. So we're gonna go ahead and hop on the same link.